All right, Shalom. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Wahabakah, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching us this word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi. This is the brother Gabar Yahawadah from GMSHawaii coming to you with another live lesson. And I'll make this short. Um, this lesson is entitled Vice President Pence tells West Point grads they should expect to see combat. Okay, and I think over the weekend or whatnot, you had Vice President Pence give the commencement speech at West Point University or West Point College or whatever. It's a military college, and it's supposed to be amongst the most diverse class because you had a bunch of Negro, Latino, Native American, or Negro, Latino women graduating in this man's army, in this man's military school. So basically, they're going to all be first lieutenants. So Mike Pence was telling the crowd, like, look, man, you're gonna have to you're gonna you should expect combat in your lifetime, even here in America, man. All right, so it says Vice President Pence tells West Point grads they should expect to see combat. Said Vice President Mike Pence told the most diverse graduating class in the history of the U.S. military academy on Saturday that the world is a dangerous place and they should expect to see combat. Some of you will join the fight against radical Islamic terrorists in Afghanistan and Iraq. He said. He said. It says Pence congratulated the West Point graduates on behalf of President Donald Trump and told them, as you accept the mantle of leadership, I promise you, your commander in chief will always have your back. President Donald Trump is the best friend the men and women of our armed forces will ever have. More than 980 cadets became U.S. Army second lieutenants in the ceremony at West Point Football Stadium. Pence noted that the Trump has proposed $750 billion defense budget for 20 said the United States is once again embracing our role as the leader of the free world. It is a virtual certainty that you will fight on a battlefield for America at some point in your life. Pence said, "Your your will you will lead soldiers in combat. It will happen. Some of you may even be called upon to serve in this hemisphere. So here in America, you're gonna have troops fighting in America, man, because this third world war is going to touch all of the world, man, especially America, you know. And these uh lesser luminaries, they know, you know, and this is the reason why he said what he said. The third world war is going to happen. Why? Not because the elites said it's going to happen, not because Donald Trump, not because of Mike Pence, man, but because Yahawadah Shemi Hawashai wills it. Real quick, this is Isaiah 55 and 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it. So the Lord said in the scriptures that He's going to destroy Babylon the Great by nuclear fire. Okay, that the virgin daughter of Babylon wasn't going to be a virgin no more. She's going to be overthrown by her enemies and her allies, man. All right, and this guy Mike Pence, he's getting his troops ready for that. Over 980 some odd people graduated, and he told them it's a surety that not only are you going to fight in distant countries, but you're going to serve in this hemisphere, man. He says it will happen. Some of you may. It says you will lead soldiers in combat. It will happen. So he's saying it like it's a certainty. Some of you may even be called upon to serve in this hemisphere. Pence spoke as the U.S. plans to send another 1,500 troops to the Middle East. We're in a time of what rumors of wars. Okay, this is St. Matthew chapter 25, verse 6, or 24, verse 6. St. Matthew's 24 and 6. It says this, And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right. So we're in the time where we're hearing, uh, rumors of war. Iran, America, North Korea, Russia, America, all these different rumors, and then you also seeing conflicts happen across the board. Still in Afghanistan, still in the Middle East. He's sending troops back to Afghanistan to leverage over Iran, and then the 1500 does nothing. They're going to send more troops, man. Okay. And what do you think these new graduates that America has put all this money into to graduate from West Point are going to do? Hey, they're going to fight, man. And not only are they going to fight in the Middle East, but they're going to fight here in America too, on American soil, or as he said it, serve in this hemisphere. Okay. It says it says Pence spoke as the U.S. plans to send another 1,500 troops to the Middle East to counter what the Trump administration describes as threats from Iran. As the longest war in U.S. history churns on in Afghanistan, and as Washington considers its options, political upheaval in Venezuela, the administration is also depending more heavily on the military to deter migrants from crossing the U.S. Mexico border. Jacob's trouble. Okay, you're gonna have U.S. troops fighting their own people, citizens, as well as so-called migrants, man. All right, and a lot of you women, you sign up for this military. Why? Because of benefits, get them school loans paid off, get the usurp authority over men. All right. It says the class was the most diverse in West Point history. Pence said he wanted to acknowledge the historic milestone that we're marking today. In 2019, cadets included 223 women, 34 of whom are black. Both totals are all-time highs since the first female cadet graduated in 1980. The academy graduated its 5,000th woman on Saturday. Okay, the 110 African Americans who graduated were double the number from 2013. So sign up for this man's military to be centurions in his military. You're gonna die, man. You're gonna die in this third world war. This is Revelation 11 and 14. The second war is past, and behold, the third world coming quickly. The second war was the Second World War, and this third world war is coming quickly. And America is not going to be the victor, because I think Pence, he even said that. He said, as I stand there before you today at West Point, I can't help but think that First Lieutenant Edward J. Pence, looking down from the glory, is finally impressed with his third son. Pence said, so thank you for that honor. The ceremony, Pence second visited West Point and his first as a commencement speaker. But yeah, it says Pence said that the graduates also included the Academy's 1,000 Jewish cadet. Let me play what he said real quick. Play what he said.
Action to rebuild our military and restore the arsenal of democracy. This president has actually signed into law the largest investment in our national defense since the days of Ronald Reagan. And as you accept the mantle of leadership, I promise you, your commander-in-chief will always have your back. President Donald Trump is the best friend the men and women of our armed forces will ever have. It is a virtual certainty that you will fight on a battlefield for America at some point in your life. You will lead soldiers in combat. It will happen. Some of you will join the fight against radical Islamic terrorists in Afghanistan and Iraq. Some of you will join the fight on the Korean Peninsula and in the Indo-Pacific, where North Korea continues to threaten the peace and an increasingly militarized China challenges our presence in the region. Some of you will join the fight in Europe, where an aggressive Russia seeks to redraw international boundaries by force. And some of you may even be called upon to serve in this hemisphere.
Yeah, so this is what's going on. This third world war is going to happen. This is it says, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. Okay, why? Because the Lord is going to utterly destroy all these armies, man, including America's army. Okay, Joel 3 and 2 It says, I will also gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. What's that? That's the Middle East. That's what you call Saudi Arabia, man. Okay, which is the valley of decision. And I will plead with them there for my people and for all my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations in part of my land. When the Lord pleads, he's not begging. He's bringing you down there for war. He's gathering all these different nations up to do battle in a uh, um, in the Middle East, man. The Armageddon, which is the mountain of troops, man. Troops from America, Russia, China, all these different nations. They're gonna go. They're gonna fight there, man. And your vice president, he uh he said it's a certainty. It's a certainty. So we're at the point where rumors of wars, rumors of wars are happening. They're coming up. They're being fomented, and this is not a light thing. You don't take anything that these people say lightly, because it's a surety, and we know it. And where was it written at first? In the scriptures, man. Okay, whether you believe it or not, whether you care to believe it or not, it's the truth. You know, the brother of the kingdoms within, 2 Esdras 15:19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy the houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. And that's what's coming. And that's what's being prepared. All right. So I ain't gonna make this too long. I just wanted to do a quick lesson in regards to this, this statement. Vice President Pence tells West Point they should expect to see combat, man. Yeah, you should expect it because the Third World War is coming, man. And it's going to be a draft, too. Okay? And it's going to be a draft. All right? So a lot of you going to be commanded by these women that were that just graduating class, man. Okay? So this has been a... Okay? With that, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawadah, Yahawadah. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. Teach word and truth and sincerity for ruling well. The salutations to my fellow Akim. Keep pushing, keep striving. We almost out of here. Shalom.